Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Okay, talking about the three-man militia. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm going to say it again. The three-man militia is, I came up with the idea because it is based on my experience in the Marines in Vietnam. And we had everything broke down into three-man fire teams. And it was basically kind of like that throughout everything that I was around. Even in weapons platoon. Weapons platoon was set up with, that's where the special weapons are. Grenade launchers, flamethrowers, machine guns, mortars. These people came from the weapons platoon. And now weapons platoon was a little different. Now some of their stuff was in two-man teams, but a lot of it was in three-man teams. But so basically this is where the three-man militia idea came from. Trying to educate everybody in everything is a lot of a waste of time, and especially there's so much stuff, no one's going to learn it all. So it's much easier to break it down into, like I say, three-man teams. And then, and for me, I didn't like the military. I couldn't adjust too good for the military life. That is the reason why I found myself out in the jungle. Out there, discipline was a whole lot different than what it is otherwise. I say I don't take orders well. So being in the jungle is the good place to put somebody like me. And because in the jungle, it's the orders you follow are the ones that you respect. If you respect them, you will follow their orders. And how do you get their respect? And that is, or how would you give your respect to somebody? And what it was, the one with the most sense, the one that had the better ideas, that's the one that you would listen to. And made him even better is when you could confront him and question his idea. And because if he's got a good idea, he can back it up. So that was a good way to find the leader in the jungle. So when it comes to leadership in your militia, whether it's a three-man militia or as the threes all come together, the leadership part will blossom by itself. I mean, when in your three-man militia, when you're doing your three-man militia, it's going to be apparent who's most knowledgeable. And that's the one that will probably more lean towards the leadership of the three. And in an emergency, whether it's a tornado or whatever, and your militia needs to form, and when it does, it will answer to the sheriff, because the sheriff is the one that would be responsible, and he's the one that's going to take the leadership when it goes to a disaster type situation and in the community, when the militia comes together to help the community. And that would be the sheriff. Now the sheriff may assign a deputy or something to your group because when it all boils down, it's still the sheriff's responsibility. Okay, so so he's the one that will be handling the leadership. Now, the one cool thing about the militia is if you find the sheriff is not responsive, he's not, what did I say, as we would question, if we thought the orders were questionable, we would ask questions. And the one giving the orders would respond, and that would make you think if they really know something or not. And that would be the same thing with the sheriff, because we're still not under any type of obligation to let the sheriff lead. He needs to show leadership abilities. And it'll be the same thing with if he assigns a deputy. This deputy needs to show leadership abilities. And if you're asked to do something that you're not really qualified to do, then you need to step up and say something. Let them know that this isn't your department. And so you're limited on how well you can perform the tasks that they have asked of you. See, unlike the military or even the sheriff and the deputies and all this kind of stuff, those people, you may want to call them professionals. And the reason they are professionals is because they are paid to take on certain responsibilities. But don't let that have you misled, because some of those responsibilities they're not even capable of handling. So, but it's just they're getting a paycheck. That's what makes them the professional. So you still may be more qualified and know and understand what is asked, and you should just go on and let them know, like I say, share your ideas with them. And if they are smart, they will listen to you if you are more qualified than they are. And but whatever, you have to remember, we have a responsibility to our neighbors and our community. And so when it's time for us to stand for them, we need to be prepared to stand for them. So it's not exactly like the Marines, but it is, there is a leadership, how do you say, leadership, chain of command type of thing that you will have to put together. And you don't have to worry about it now. That's the cool thing. The only time you have to worry about it is when y'all are called to do what y'all do. And then at that time, you will figure out who's going to be in the leadership position. And everyone has to understand what the goals are. Because once you understand the goals, then you can perform whatever tasks that is asked of you, even if that's not what your specialty is. You're just fixing to learn some more. Kind of like the same thing, kind of like the Marines. We were taught all this combat skills and all this stuff, but once you're out in the jungle, things change a whole lot. And it's the same thing. Once you all are called up, it's not going to be anything like you expect. But don't worry, because you're already organized with your 3-man militia. You will be able to do whatever's asked of you. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.